Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Lisa. I'm Spiritual Coach Lisa Hopp. It is Sunday, December 28th, 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas if you celebrate, and Happy New Year. For those of you who are new, welcome. Please be sure to check out my website at lisahopp.com. I'm also on Instagram under Spiritual Coach Lisa Hopp. I'm also on Facebook under Lisa M. Hopp, Spiritual Coach and Medium. That's my business page, which will list all my upcoming events and most weeks from Monday through Friday, inspirational, truthful messages. I'm also on TikTok, Lisa Hopp 55. So thank you. I will be posting more content in the new year. It's essential because I'm going to be offering more in the new year. So it's all combined. So please follow along with me, join, stay tuned. I would appreciate it so very much. This year, in 2025, I invested in myself. It was a year of transition for me, but in a smaller way. In the new year, it's a year where I help you invest in yourself and transition. And I am very much looking forward to that, of being a facilitator, an aid really, because it will be you, but me helping you, guiding you along the way in a much larger sense. So I'm excited. It also combines, as I've spoken about before, heart-mind coherence, heart-brain coherence, which is the access to heaven. So there will be, through my work, more services, including that, expanding upon that, truly, of connecting into God's source, you and your God source, and combining the two together for healing, for expansion, for ascension, for all of that. And it's all good. It's all good. It's positive change to the greatest degree. It's also just helping you to understand how unlimited and powerful you are. We're not taught that. And here's the thing. This is what this podcast today is all about. It is a time where we are coming to understand that what we were taught is truly the opposite of truth. And what I mean by that is, we were taught that we are limited, that we are sinners, that life is short, and money doesn't grow on trees, and you have to work hard for the money. And I mean that in a laboring kind of way. You know, that the more money, the more time you have to put in a lot of time. You have to work hard. You have to burn yourself out. That's all not true. It's not true. And so we're learning now that we all are really unlimited, very powerful. And here is the truth. And I will always tell you the truth as I know it, all right? And I don't speak unless I know it to be truth. And I'm, as you, learning all the time. I'm sure you're learning all the time as well. And I love learning new things. Yesterday I learned something. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. That's fun. And it was a small little item. It wasn't anything to do with these big topics. But it's important to know we are in an age of knowledge, of wisdom, of learning. We've known it before. It's in our texts, but we're relearning it. And that's why we're here, by the way. Not to learn new, but to relearn what we've already known. And haven't you? I know I did as a child. I was a very small child. And I would know things. I would know things without anyone teaching me things. I would know, if you listen every week, you've heard me say this. I was 5, 6 years old, sitting in the church pew, hearing the Mass, hearing the priest talk, and knowing that I had had other lives. No, I've had other lives, and I will have other lives. A child wasn't taught that. I was only taught what the Catholic religion was teaching me. And so, but my gut knew. And so we know things. We have like almost like downloads of wisdom and knowledge, and also ways to tackle this life. It's given to us. Heaven doesn't send us with an empty suitcase. All right. I love how I put that. That's why I giggled. You don't get sent here with an empty suitcase. You get sent here with at least a carry-on bag of how to tackle this earth, of what you know, and you'll speak it. And sometimes, yes, it is taught to you what you speak. But as that child I knew it without knowing how I knew it. No one told it to me. I just knew. That's the suitcase. That's the items there that help us to navigate this earth that is full of relearning, of healing, of chaos at times, of emotions, of survival, of having to survive, which is an ancestral thing downloaded to us that we have to deal with. But we know, a lot of us, this is the generation that heals those past generations that just pass on things. And that's why, many of us are working on it and helping others to work on it, that are here just for the purpose of not only helping ourselves, I'm talking about me here, but also helping others. And I heard this recently. It's not the first time I've heard it, so but it was a revalidation of a feeling. That is, people who are still in their old paradigms, and most, by the way, most of us have some of it. So if not all of us, so it's not, this is not in any way a negative statement, but those who are still grasping what they've been taught by their ancestors, by their families, by their parents, by their way of life, they are concerned about the future because they see the young people being different. The Generation X, I believe, as they like to put it, but I'm not one for labels, so I don't know if I have that right. But they're, oh no, well, how the world will the world turn out like? How will it turn out like if they are questioning, if they're not wanting to work hard for the money, right? Which is a belief system. If they want it to be this way or that way. And what's not understood is that a lot of the young people on this earth are the future. They are those that have come and said, no, I'm going to heal and not just have it drop to me. I'm going to question it. I'm going to debate it. Why can't I do what follows my spirit? Why can't I work from love? No, and so it's different. They work differently. They live their lives differently. They marry later. Because I know when I was younger, and I'm definitely aging myself, everyone around me was getting married in their 20s. And I remember in my early 20s feeling like I had I did have a biological clock. But I felt like I had a deadline. And today, our young people are like, no, I don't have a deadline. I want to find what I want to figure it out. I want to figure it out. I want to, not repeat what I've seen, no matter what that may be. And so, it's, I'm doing it independently. And so I want you to, if you would, when you go there, understand it's nothing necessarily negative about it, but are you questioning or judging from what you've learned, what you know, Or do you have all the information? Do you really know the story? Now, in every generation, there are people that want to call it in, right? So I'm not talking about, the person who does want to sit on the couch all day and not do anything. I'm not judging that. I'm just saying that what I'm talking about right now is that don't assume because someone wants to live their life different than what you were taught that it is worse, that it is not better, that the world's in trouble, right? Because that is not the case. I can tell you 110% that is not the case. All right? And I'm just going to leave that right there. So here's another thing I'd like you to know today on this Happy New Year time when we are getting ready for the new year. I'd like to challenge you. I would like to challenge you not to repeat this year, not to repeat last year, not to repeat 10 years ago. Because we go in and we make our resolutions and then we drop our resolutions. Usually it's about the gym or about our diet or something like that. I learned a long time ago to make intentions, not resolutions. And I've already started some. I'm not waiting for that proverbial ball to drop. I'm not. I already made executive decisions this week even about new identity Lisa and doing something different than I've ever done before, but for the best. That's what I want, where I want you to go. I want to challenge you to go. I also want you to understand that time doesn't exist. It's an illusion. Time is how everything is in the now. It's in the now. So what you see in your environment is what you are projecting out from who you are. And yes, some of it is a projection of what you've already created. But it's all happening in the now. So it can change in the now. So who you are is what you see. How your vibration is what you see. Even to global. You have to feel peace within to see peace on the outside. If you turn on the news, and I challenge you really, to be informed, but not to tune in a way that makes you feel bad. But what we perceive with the news is our consciousness of what we expect. We expect to see the fire being broadcast. We expect to see, if we think that a city has a gun issue, we're going to see a lot of that, aren't we? Because it's mass consciousness. But you can change mass consciousness by changing your consciousness, your inner self. And then you get what you perceive. If you ever, and I have, so I know this probably has happened with you, have you ever not known about something? It's like, I had no idea about that. It's because you weren't in the channel. You weren't aligned with the channel that would perceive that. It wasn't of your consciousness. Doesn't mean it's not happening. It's just not happening in your world. And to be honest, the world is more beautiful and more peaceful and more loving than a lot would perceive. I don't want to say most, but a lot would perceive. There are people that think that the world is hard, that the world, that people don't have empathy, that they go to what their beliefs are. They go to the negative automatically because that's what they know. But that's not the truth. When we get to heaven especially, we find out how beautiful our lives were, how amazing our life was. But we didn't always perceive it that way because of what our beliefs are, what our perceptions are. So be aware of how you're feeling of what you're thinking, but have a detached awareness, because what you want to make sure that you're not recreating what you don't want to create. Are you following along with me? Gosh, I hope so. So let's say you have a moment where a stranger at the store is cranky with you. All right? You want to let that go. You want to throw that out as fast as you can. Don't even put perception to it. Because when you put perception to it, it now becomes a part of your vibration, a part of your environment, a part of what you created in that moment. Whatever you perceive, you receive. You see? So you want to let it go. You want to let them. There's so many helpers out there like me, and larger ones that are, more famous right now, that are telling you how to do it. All right? Brush it off a second later, if not sooner, because you don't want to recreate it. You don't want it to happen again. You want to have one of those days. All right? You're having one of those days because of your perceptions. You're creating it. You're creating that day. You're fully responsible. When I see things around me that I don't like, I go, and I mean this in people. I'll go, I'm not paying attention to them, because I don't want to magnify or help magnify their image, their energy in my environment. All right? It doesn't mean that I ignore when people need help. I ignore, being good. It's important to see, do you like what you're seeing 100% around you? If you have a moment where you don't, you let it go in that moment. You don't put your awareness to it. And if you feel that you have, you reframe it to better. I try to understand where people are coming from. It's none of my business to know, right? But if someone's having a bad moment, they might have gotten bad news that morning. I'm going to let it go, all right? It's usually, honestly, not personal, right? And I found this in my life that I've learned to let people just feel how they want to feel about me. Because I understand that sometimes, and I mean personally, well, maybe even, and also professionally too. Though thankfully, professionally, meaning in my work, of course, I don't get a lot of negativity coming at me. I actually get a lot of goodness and a lot of just generosity and just amazing. So thankfully, I don't have to, this doesn't really apply altogether, but it can. It can, because my work involves healing. It's emotional. So people bring their emotions to their connection with me. All right. And so sometimes how I may impact them has not what I'm doing involved, but what emotions they bring to the interaction. And I know that. I understand that. And it's the same with my personal life, especially because I used to be much more sensitive. I used to be concerned about how do people view me. Am I being good enough? Am I giving enough? Am I this or that? Am I? And I went, now, you know what? Just let them be where they are. They may, in some cases, they actually have it, in error. Or they're coming from who they are. And again, it has nothing to do with me. Maybe it's, they're perceiving me perfectly. But they still want to be where they want to be. And so we cannot think about having approval from others. How much, are we doing all right? We just have to be good with ourselves. This week, I got a intention formed because I had a wonderful Christmas. And I felt like everyone around me gave me a better Christmas than I gave them. Well, by the way, I've heard no thought of that I'm correct. No one gave me feedback going, yeah, you kind of called it in, Lisa. But I saw that I could have been kinder. I saw where I can level up. And I work on being kind within myself and to others, like as a project. So I saw, I'm going to make a change. Like yesterday, I viewed something. And normally I would share that with someone. I would share what I viewed. I went, no, keep that private. Do not lend yourself, even if you're not actively gossiping. Don't even take a chance of being a gossip. Allow that person, even if it's not a private moment, because it was kind of public. It wasn't like, I didn't view them in their like bedroom window or anything. But I decided not to share what I saw because I'm going to honor 100% privacy. And I'm not, honestly, I don't feel comfortable being gossip by nature, so I try not to do that. And what I try not to do is talk about others behind their back. I do not, because I wouldn't want it done to me. And if someone's doing it, if someone's doing it about another to you, they're generally doing it about you, I have found. And I don't want to partake of that energy. So, but I've nipped it in the bud even more, where if I were to see you doing something in a moment, even if, accidentally in your yard or something, I'm not going to share it with a household member or something. I'm going to value your personal moment 100%. I am only going to add positive energy to this world. Now, we all have moments, and we are to love ourselves through those moments. Like anyone, I can have a tired, cranky moment. But, so I'm not saying you have to be perfect, nor am I saying I have to be perfect. But I made the intention of level up. And it made me smile, not because I thought that I wasn't okay. I just saw a moment where someone was a level up than me, and I went, I'm going to be like that. And I'm going to be. And that's the energy that is forming around me more with people. People who are just generous and happy and smiling, no matter what, who believe in people like I do, who believe that you can have your best life, that you don't have to settle. And I'm doing that too this week. I am like proclaiming out loud, I'm not going to settle. I've settled before, and I'm not going to do that anymore. And I've made the intention for this coming year to be my best year. And I'm excited about that because I feel like the intention is strong enough to bring it into manifestation. It doesn't have to be strong, but stay tuned. But I encourage you and challenge you to think about what you want to create for this new year. And to make sure, unless you like it, that it's not just a lateral going and having the same year you've had before. Because It doesn't have to be that way. It's what you have created. Do you want to create a new year that's the same? That's just about a calendar? Or do you want it to be the most amazing life for you yet? And amazing is yours. It doesn't have to be about money. It doesn't have to be about anything other than what's important to you. No, because success is different. Happiness is different for everyone. And so, what does it mean for you this new year? What does it mean? I'm thinking through everything. And what I mean is, I don't generally, yes, I show up for my work, but I want to. But I generally don't do things out of obligation. I think through, do I want to do that or do I not want to do that? It's all right to say no, and it's all right to say yes. It's all right to understand that if you want to do it, there is a way. You know, you've heard where there's a will, there's a way. Your will, the will always wins out. You may not know the hows, and you're not supposed to know the hows. Ask and ye shall receive. Allow. Go with it. Journal what you want your year to be like, what your life to be like. And start now, on this date, if you're listening on this date of the 28th. It doesn't have to be when that ball drops. It doesn't have to be at the start of January 1st, in those first moments. Intend. If it's health, make it about health. It's in the now. I had a moment 12 years ago, where I was told at that time that a condition I had was healed. You are healed. That's the truth. However, I blocked it entirely with my own power. What you ask for is yours, but do you accept it? Do you receive it? Do you think you have to play a part in it? God will direct you on how to have what you are to have. You do have to take action most of the time, but you will be informed on how to do it. You will be led by your inner intuition, and you will be led by signs. And if you miss them, you'll get new ones. So do know that you are not, again, on this earth with an empty suitcase. You are here to explore this. You asked to be here at this time, to learn how to create, to learn that you are creation and what you can do with it. I challenge you in this new year to play with this. To, as Florence Scovel Shinn said, the game of life and how to play it. We are here to learn how to play this game of life, to create for the better, for each other, and for ourselves. Sit down and ask yourself, what do I truly want? If it's peace of mind, excellent. If it's wholeness, excellent. If it's wealth, excellent. Neville Goddard, love Neville Goddard, great spiritual teacher. Of course, not of course, you may not know, but he's no longer, well, if you've listened to me, you know, he's not on this earth anymore. He was a great teacher. And he has a simple exercise. What you ask for, you then affirm, but not repeatedly. It's done. It's complete. You now live in the end of it. So how do you live in the end? When you ask for wealth, financial freedom, paid in full. it is paid in full. Paid in full. Any bill, paid in full. Anything, paid in full. If you want health, if you want the cure, if you want anything that is about the physical, emotional, mental health, I am whole. Or look in the mirror, you are whole. Have somebody saying it to you, you are whole. Have somebody say to you, it is paid in full. You're done. You're in the end. It's not even about the emotions of it. It is about knowing it is done. If it's about loving relationships, if you need somebody to forgive you, here's that person saying, I forgive you. Hear the apology energetically. Hear people telling you they want to be your dependable, loving, honest, respectful friends. All of that creates what you want, and then you follow along with your instructions. It is really that simple, but it's a focus. Because be aware of where you are. If you feel a nervous energy about finances, you're not in the end. But again, remind yourself, go to the place, that was me hitting my desk. Go to the place where how would you feel if it were complete? That's what I do. How would I feel if I had it? How would I feel if it's done? It's usually a lightness and a peace, right? Go there and keep going there and keep going there, and don't measure it. It doesn't matter if it's 20 times a day, 100 times a day, 1,000 times a day. It doesn't matter. Keep going there. How would I feel if that were in my life? If I had it? What would the feelings be? Go there. It doesn't have to be mental. Just go to the feeling. And again, the easy exercise too. Paid in full. You are whole. You are successful, whatever it is. If you have a cancer diagnosis, see yourself ringing that bell. Whatever brings you the culmination of the end that reaffirms it is the thing to do. And again, I want to end with this today. Not really say it again, but end with this today. When you think about what you want, it's not about what you should want. What do you really want? We are here for ourselves independently. It is not about what your mother or father, even if they're not on earth, would approve of. It is not what society would tell you should want. What do you really want? That's where you go. That's where you get the clarity. Write it down, type it down. It's what I would ask for with the genie in the bottle if I could ask for anything, and it doesn't matter. That's what I'm talking about. Go there, and your year will be amazing, and all the years to come. Thank you for joining me today. Happy New Year. Happy. Enjoy it now. Enjoy it to the time frame. Enjoy it throughout the year. And thank you again for joining me. If you're on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share. And please join my newsletter at lisahop.com, where I announce new things. I could be doing videos too. I know that if you've heard me, here's the thing. I'm giggling. For those who listen every week, you have heard me say that I'm going to be putting up videos before. They have to be created. And like you, perhaps, I had to celebrate Christmas. I pulled off Christmas. And I pulled it off at the 11th hour with no sleep. By the way, pat on the back moment, but with also the intention of, don't do that again. Definitely. So, I have had momentous shifts in these last moments. I have had lightness come upon me. I have asked for help when I've never asked for help before. And so I have shifted. And this shifted new identity of me has gone into the new year. Shift. Shift into that person where it's okay to ask for help. Shift into that person that already has financial freedom, that already has the love that you want, that already has the health that you want. You have it before you see it, and then don't look for it. I forgot to add that. Do not look for it, because in looking for it, you're saying you don't have it. Very important. It is yours. You live in the having of it. Whether you see it or not, you ignore what does not line up with it. Remember, brush it off, and then it will always appear. If it's not appearing right away, it's because in some way it's either not formed enough to be what you've asked for or better, but perhaps you are waiting. Do not wait. Just live in the know. All right? All right. Thank you again. Remember Instagram, Spiritual Coach Lisa Hop, all the other social media. If you're not on social media, by the way, you'd have to be a little bit to listen to this, right? It's okay. Wherever you are, whatever platform, thank you. I appreciate you. I am grateful. And I will talk to you again next time.